lab again. Oh no, back to the lab again. We messed up. Back to the lab again. Not again. Back to the lab again. Uh-oh, back to the lab again. Oh no, back to the lab again. We messed
keep
up.
playing it.
Back to the
Play
lab
the whole
again.
thing. Welcome back to Poopcast 3000.
This is the official Poopcast 3K opening made specifically for the podcast by me.
I watched him mix it, don't worry.
He's talking about my penis. That's me. Doesn't matter the size or the shape. That's me and my penis.
Welcome back to the Poopcast Laboratories.
The laboratory. We watching girls pee. This is a show about watching girls poop. You wonder why it's called Poopcast? That's why. I'm gonna upload this. I'm gonna record this and then upload it to Spotify and call it Wilson's Song.
And no one can stop him.
It's just gonna keep going. This whole thing is gonna be. It's all in there. Back to the lab again. We messed up. Back to the lab again. Back to the lab again.
We have plenty of stuff to talk about today.
This is Joe Biden on Afghanistan.
Joe Biden on Afghanistan be like... Oh, just
yeah, that was him. That's him whenever
said,
there was like the terrorist attack and like 10 troops died. And that was not him. You know, you want some hypocrisy. That was definitely not him whenever that drone strike killed like a dozen civilians. So
yeah, it's pretty swag.
think about that. Get a good... I fucking take the fucking they live glasses off and actually examine the people in power. Okay, we're speaking truth to power. We're speaking truth to white supremacy. We're getting rid of it.
No more.
No, who better to oppose white supremacy than two white supremacists?
That is not true. That is completely untrue.
Welcome back to the poop corner. Welcome back to the shit corner. That's really what we call this opening segment of
shit
Poopcast.
stain alley.
Welcome back to the inside of my ass where my poop lives. Try to cancel me. How about that? How about you try to fucking cancel me?
Okay. I don't know why, but yeah. It's just like a reporter's like shaking in his boots trying to interview you.
Fucking yeah, somebody who's like at a shitty comedian, like a comedian in 2015. Like, try to fucking cancel me.
It's just a McDonald's worker.
That's right. I call people retarded. Try to cancel me for that.
Sir?
The guy's like, I mean, I guess I don't even want to.
This is a McDonald's, sir. What do you want to order? Stop trying to cancel me.
I want to order the N-word sandwich. I want to order the McBeep sandwich. That's what I want to order. It's pretty funny. Not really. It's actually really... It's racist and bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty disgusted.
I'm pretty fucking disgusted, too. I'm just so disgusted. I've just pulled my penis out, and I'm just rubbing on it.
I just rubbing it off my dick
against the carpet. Oh, man. So hard that it is hurting.
Yeah, stop that, Wilson.
I'm pissing.
I'm pissing in the rug.
Yeah, I'm pissed. The rug is saturated. It's seeped through it. It's on the floor. Okay, we need an actual thing to talk about. Yeah. This is so much. Perhaps we talk about Onlyfans.
Yes.
See, I don't know how long anything will actually carry us through this wacky, crazy thing that we call a podcast. But OnlyFans was going to ban porn.
No more.
And then they didn't ban porn.
What? I didn't hear that part.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
No, everybody was mad because, that's what OnlyFans is for.
Yeah.
And so they were like, I guess we won't.
Now everyone's
and
happy.
that was it. I mean, that usually doesn't happen, but I do feel like with OnlyFans, it would be almost impossible to transition into anything else.
Yeah, I feel like if OnlyFans were to do that, it would crumble as a business.
It's weird. It's like how, like who are they gonna? Are they gonna like go be like we're gonna be the next PayPal or like the next or the next Patreon?
Yeah.
Like, probably not. It would our object like that's just not gonna happen. Those things already exist. I guess if OnlyFans is gonna ban explicit content, then there's no reason why you wouldn't just use Patreon, right? Because Patreon, like that's why OnlyFans exists.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I always thought Patreon or OnlyFans was supposed to be a Patreon, but then they were like, "Oh yeah, you guys can do porn."
yeah, they allowed porn, and so that's
and then that became
that's
its
the
namesake.
only reason that they exist right now. I mean, like the only other thing that they could do is like just allow people to be. I mean, just allow everybody that would be banned from like Patreon onto OnlyFans. But like, I feel like that the bar is. I don't think it's that easy to get banned off of Patreon. I feel like there are plenty of people with somewhat edgy things that are on Patreon.
That is true. Yeah, I just remember I heard about the OnlyFans thing, and I was like, and like, I kept seeing things, and it's like, wow, they really hate women, don't they? And like, everyone else was like, get a job, and I'm like, this isn't doing anything.
It's really funny. There's like they're just like popular like tweets like, now they're gonna have to get a real job, and it's just like, and it's like some fucking dude who like streams Fortnite or something.
Yeah, his man
it's like,
tits are hanging over his belly.
That's a real job.
Yeah,
it's not. It's like the ninja thing.
I'm entertaining people. Women, they can entertain them with their private areas, but me, I can play Fortnite with my shirt off and entertain millions.
A girl shows her pussy on camera for an audience of paying, consenting adults, and she gets away with that scot-free. But me, a Fortnite streamer, talking to a 12-year-old on Skype, everybody gets pissed off whenever I pull out my penis.
Like, it doesn't make sense.
What's the deal with that? What's the deal with that? I didn't touch the kid. I just had my penis out and peed onto the webcam. That's it.
You didn't even see the penis. It was just water.
Yeah,
it looked
you
like
didn't
you got a little
even see
wet.
the penis because of how fast I was waving it back and forth.
Totally not because of the size of it.
It was essentially censored.
Yes.
You know, with how fast I was waving it around.
My camera can't pick up that kind of motion yet.
Yeah, if anybody ever gets, you know, if you're ever being recorded and you're naked, just like move around really fast, and then the blur will sort of censor out anything.
It'll make its own sensors.
Yeah, like better to be caught flapping your penis around than just with it out, because then nobody can see what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. I will admit though, I mean, like, because I've never used OnlyFans or anything, obviously, but I never was against it as much as some people are, which I feel like obviously it's just like, we don't want women to do what they want. They have to do what we want them to do. But whenever that happened, I was like, well, this is just going to start some shit. And it did. To which ultimately made them reverse the decision.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't normally happen, but I mean, I guess I feel like it might have just been like a marketing thing from OnlyFans. There's a good chance that was the case.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like that definitely blew up their spot. But I mean, also like now a bunch of people are probably going to be diversifying onto like other platforms.
Yeah. Zach says women can do whatever they want.
Zach said, and I quote,
That's it.
yeah, that's what he said. That's Zach last episode. That was me too, but maybe to a lesser extent. I don't know. I couldn't edit out all the ums and ers because that would just take so long.
Yeah, half the podcast was that.
Dude, like an cut.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Cut gems, and it's just a cut.
It'd just be every single one from the episode.
Where every single person in Uncut Gems says
Yeah.
It's like the part where he's saying, or he's holding up the rock and he's like, I'm gonna come. Yeah, it's just a from that. Oh fuck, I'm gonna come. I've seen Green Knight. But I don't have like a ton of observations to make about it other than that. It's just good. There's green. The knight's green. He comes He comes into the King Arthur's court, and he points at the one guy, and he's like, "Why are you brown?" And then it's sort of like a metaphor for green supremacy. He's for climate change.
I mean, it is to be expected, you know.
Yeah, and how the real problem is the brown people. They're the ones causing it. It's really the people in fucking Africa who live totally fucking like carbon neutral, like don't own a car, have never lived in like a house with climate control, but they have 8 kids.
Oh my god.
Oh man. They're the real problem. Really, honestly, it would be better if they just died. That would be good. It's actually good that a bunch of people are starving to death.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, actually, because of climate change. That just, There are probably people right now that are like, man, if they just didn't have so many children.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, really, who you should be killing is people, basically Americans. I think Americans have a pretty high CO2 emission rate for like on an individual level. So like really, if you're gonna cull any population to stem the effects of climate change, it would be
upper middle class Americans.
It'd be like the global north. Whatever. The global north is a bad term. I still feel like the global south is not as good. I feel like third world is still better than the global south.
Yeah.
I guess the second world was supposed to be like the socialist countries.
Mm-hmm.
And those, but I mean, there's still a couple of those hanging out.
Yeah.
I mean, they maybe ain't doing so, maybe the big boy is down, gone, but not forgotten. I remember when the Berlin Wall fell.
Yes, me too. It's pretty cool.
So many people, it crushed so many Berlinese.
I know I started watching One Piece, and it's not what I expected, but at the same time, it is fun just to like sit down and watch to kill time, because it is the very beginning.
Yeah.
So like I have no interest in the characters yet. Nothing's been diversified.
I suppose One Piece is maybe watchable for like the first. I mean, it's probably watchable for like the first 150 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, pacing wise, because like I definitely switched to the manga whenever I could, and I mean I think that's just much better paced because the show is just slow. Yeah, it was. It's already like at the beginning it was already slow, but as it goes on it gets worse. There's like one chapter of manga equals an entire episode. Oof. It's horrid. And it doesn't look very good either.
Yeah.
Toei Animation, they also animate Dragon Ball. Their stuff just looks awful. Dragon Ball looks horrible.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super looks just ugly as shit.
Yes.
And like even the shit that they put a bunch of money into, like the movies, they still don't look good. Like they look fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like impressive. It's like they actually animated the characters.
He's actually moving correctly.
Wow, that's crazy.
As a child, I feel like a lot of little boys, probably some little girls.
A lot of little boys, maybe their penis gets hard sometimes and they don't know why. They're confused about it.
And in the end, whenever it's all said and done, after they eat their macaroni and cheese and it's time to go into their bedrooms and relax, they get on YouTube and watch Dragon Ball Z AMVs.
Yeah.
Which I did a lot. And I immediately was flashed back to whenever I was probably a 12-year-old boy, probably with my shirt off and like my tummy sticking out, and just watching Goku and probably Frieza fighting.
Yeah. To
like a crazy like electronic music beat. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah,
and
just
then
like that.
There's always the classic Linkin Park ones.
Yes, dude. Fucking, crawling in
exactly.
my skin. and it's like Vegeta, and he's like holding his head, and he's like,
oh, my head hurts.
I have a fucking headache. Oh, ouch, I need some fucking Advil.
Yeah, and then
That's my whole fucking developed bit.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, why is he holding his head like that? Does he have a headache? Why don't he doesn't he take maybe Advil or ibuprofen? How about that?
Saiyans can't have ibuprofen; it will kill them.
That's in the deep lore.
Yeah, in the deep lore, Goku took a Tylenol, and that's
And
why
he
his
fucking-
left leg doesn't
He
work
got
anymore.
an erection that lasted like more than 6 hours, and he had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly.
And they had to like have his penis pumped.
Damn, it's rather unfortunate for Goku.
Yeah. It's that seed. It's in the Dragon Ball fan comic.
Yeah,
And they have his penis pumped, and then the seed from the penis pump is put inside of Frieza's secret mom, and she has a Saiyan Frieza hybrid.
whoa, that's
And
insane.
he's like Goku, but with a bigger penis. We didn't get to watch Space Jam. That would have been such a that would have been so cool. His Space Jam looks like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
All of it, like that 2D animated stuff looks like shit, and then like they turn into these gross like it looks like a fucking like Bugs Bunny looks like a stuffed animal that like a 2-year-old had and just fucking dragged through the dirt, just disgusting. It's got like jelly.
Yeah,
Like the 2-year-old is like eating spaghetti by the handfuls and rubbing it, and it's like all the fur is matted and clumped together. It's
And LeBron
absolutely
James is like,
disgusting.
whoa.
Well, I'm in a hold on a sec. I'm in a computer. I thought this was supposed to be a Space Jam.
This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. You must have responded to an email by somebody named Ridiculous. Because you're ridiculous.
I know that there's a lot of Space Jam 2 marketing toys where people have been stealing his head.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like they'd
the
start locking the head up.
the
Yeah,
inflatable LeBron James. I mean that's definitely some people are like jerking off to that. That's like super hot for a few people.
I mean, I'm not surprised if I saw LeBron James get that big and that
If I saw him swell up like Newman at the first Space Jam, let me tell you, I'd have a jam coming out of my little rocket, if you know what I mean.
I mean,
penis and asshole.
I have to close my eyes sometimes whenever I see those videos because I'm just like, it's too much. I gotta go take a break.
Inflation videos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with LeBron James. It's just like, whoa, what an athlete.
What a fucking, oh my gosh. It just fucking sit on my face. Sorry, I was actually thinking about Newman.
Yeah, not even LeBron James.
I was thinking
anymore.
about LeBron James.
Well, Newman, isn't he that actor's from Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah, that's his first film appearance.
Oh, really?
In Jurassic Park.
He's very always liked seeing him in movies. I'm like, wow, it's that guy.
Yeah, the guy who got eaten by a Dilophosaurus.
I feel like. Do you remember that one movie, and it was like a first-person movie?
Hardcore Henry?
Yeah, I never saw it, but I remember
didn't either.
It didn't look very entertaining.
I mean, it was probably fine, but
Yeah.
it probably wasn't particularly good.
I like bringing up movies I haven't seen and just like, it looked cool. No substance coming out of
Yeah,
this
it looked
conversation.
Oh, dude, have you seen this? Have you seen this film? I don't know what it is, but it had a high score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of course, we have our next classic Poopcast subject, which is Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. How long should we spend killing every civilian in Afghanistan? How long should we just get it over with, or should we draw it out over another 30 or 40 years?
Yeah, until it gets to like a critical point where we're like, okay, we'll come back.
Okay, we'll take another break.
I don't-
Give you guys a chance to repopulate.
Yeah, no kidding.
So they can kill more of them later. So that the end goal is not to like eliminate them. It's just to kill as many as possible.
Yes.
So you can't kill all of them.
Yeah.
Or else you'd have no more to kill.
Of course. Did you see the video of the U.S. Air Force plane taking off? And like people like climbing on top of it?
No.
You haven't seen that?
I've not seen that video.
I'll pull it up for you later.
Okay.
But it's essentially like one of the last U.S. Air Force planes. It's like this giant plane, and like there are people just flooding the runway and like standing in front of the plane trying to keep it from going so they can get on the plane, you know, but it's already full and stuff. So there's a lot of desperate people, and they start climbing onto the plane. It's like a World War Z film. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, what Zach's saying is basically that they're all like zombies.
It's not
all
exactly
the people
what
in
I
Afghanistan are essentially what they are is zombies that just want to destroy things mindlessly.
Yeah, perhaps. But at the end of the day, the plane says, we got to go. We got to take off. So it starts to take off. And like, you know, obviously a lot of the people kind of run away, but there's still people on top of the plane and like inside of like the wheel well of the plane and everything, and the plane just takes off, and then like people start falling off of the plane to their deaths, and it's all on video.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know, I'm not surprised that the military let that happen. It's kind of a good look for us.
They did the whole
I know,
the whole war.
But I mean,
So,
like, I remember I watched it. I was very sickened by it. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
There really isn't any care for these people. They're just doing what they have to because they're told to do it. But I was pretty disgusted by it, and I'm not surprised that it happened, but I told my coworkers about it. And one of them, who is a large man, and he was good. Yeah, it's kind of what he sounds like. I was like, did you see this? And he's like, no. And I was like, so I explained it to him, and he just started laughing. He's like, that's what they get. And then like, I was like, okay. So then I found the video and I showed it to him, and he started dying laughing. And I'm like, huh.
That's so fun. Oh, the fucking entire country is just, oh, it's so bad, dude. Oh, it's so fucked. Especially like on those specific things.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll find a pretty widespread general, like, just the contempt that like so many people in like America have toward anybody else.
Yeah, no,
it's horrid. And like, it's really like, that's, I think probably because there are like other elements of like, you know, ideology that are like easier to sort of, because it's like, oh, this thing, it just is bad for you. It just it makes you worse, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, not having access to certain resources is bad. It makes your life worse. Like, you can say that. But like, if somebody's just like, no, I think that people in other countries should die for me because it's more convenient. Like, it's really hard to be like, well, no, because it improves their life.
Yeah,
their
exactly.
life is improved by like people, you know, or I mean, honestly, I mean, not even really, but like their life isn't made worse by it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's almost like out of this like pride. Like, that's all that it is. It's like this. It's just like, yeah, because we can.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be able to expect anything of us. Like, there are people who are really pissed off. Like, other countries require U.S. citizens to get vaccinated, and there are people that were like, well, I am a U.S. citizen. That's all we should need is a U.S. passport. It just shouldn't matter if we're vaccinated. We should be free to travel where we want. And it is mind-boggling. Like, it is, that is a thing that a person can legitimately think. And I don't even really know how to like talk about, like,
yeah.
I don't know how you could talk to somebody who's like that. I don't even know, like, I don't know how you could begin like being like, well, that's not great.
Yeah, I know.
Because they just believe that they're entitled to these
Yeah, I
things.
know. It's like we're very lucky to be U.S. citizens, you know?
Yeah.
Because it is true. But it's like, whenever you go to someone else's house and like they're very big about taking your shoes off, are you gonna the way that they act is like, I'm just gonna go sit on the couch and like put my shoes on the couch.
I'm gonna go shit. I'm gonna go wipe my shitty ass on your fucking couch.
Yeah, just because at your house you don't have
anything to fucking stop me because I'm your boss.
Yeah,
I'm your boss, and I'll wipe my shitty asshole on your couch because I'm your boss.
But it's very I don't know. It's kind of just.
I'm your boss, and I'm also a fucking low-level employee with no fucking hope of, going up. I'm a fucking manager at the Target that you work at, and I'm at the top already, and it still sucks. But you know what I can still do? I can still come over to your house and wipe my shit-covered asshole on all of your furniture, and you can't do anything about it.
Or I'll fire you.
You little you bitch ass butthole. You bitch ass butthole.
But sir, that's my grandmother's couch. Don't do that.
I'm gonna kill your fucking grandma, you little bitch.
She's already dead.
I'm gonna fucking shit on her corpse.
Okay. I guess, boss. What I kind of think of it as, and I'm probably completely wrong, but I've kind of created this illusion in my head that like with the Taliban taking over Afghanistan, it's like if all of like the far right conservatives in America were like like the January 6th thing actually happened and like was successful, but it's just very kind of like ew, and we're just gonna let it happen. What kind of makes me feel kind of dumbfounded is that they're all like, we have to leave. We have to get out of there. Mm-hmm. And then, like, people get killed, and they're like, we won't forgive you. We will be back. I'm like, what the fuck?
We're gonna... Well, like, they, like, immediately... Like, they did drone strike. Like, there was a drone strike, and it killed, like, a bunch of civilians in Afghanistan.
So it's like...
Like, it's not over.
Yeah.
It's just, like, that was just a gesture. And it's a gesture that, like, fucked up, too.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like... Because, like, that's a thing that people... I've largely wanted to be out of that area of the world for a long time. But, like, it's not like we're going to stop exerting control there. I mean, really, there are deals made with the Taliban.
So, yeah. But, I don't know. I hope everyone over there is okay. Because I know I can't do anything about it.
Thoughts and prayers, people. Thoughts and prayers.
Like, I don't know.
1 like on this video equals 1 thought. Another comment, a subscribe would be a prayer, I would say.
And we'll mail them straight.
We'll mail them
to Afghanistan.
We will mail them to the U.S. government and tell them arrest these people.
Guys, we can't mail all of your thoughts and prayers to Afghanistan. The postage fee is too much. Sorry.
The only thing we're dropping on the Afghans
is your mother. Goodbye. And then that's it. And Afghanistan is no more.
Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye, Afghanistan. It's been nice. Hope you, the Taliban treats you nice.
You can't win, man. I know that, I don't know.
I don't know.
I wish. Yeah. I want to go places. I listened to a video.
Like right after we talk about Afghanistan, I want to go places. I want to go to fucking the Taliban-controlled Afghanistan.
I listened to Texas Speech Bot talk. Basically, he just recited 4chan posts, and apparently there's a guy in Afghanistan that was posting on 4chan and like basically would live tell you what's going on, and essentially he's stuck in Afghanistan now because that's
so cool.
But he said that his plan to if he ever got caught by the Taliban was I'm here to join you guys, and then they're like, why are you shaved? Like, why do you not have a beard? And then he's gonna be like, because the government in the UK said no, beards are bad. And then he's basically going to tug on the Taliban's heartstrings to let them join the Taliban. And I'm like, it's kind of ingenious, but I don't know if it would work.
It's kind of ingenious. The only flaw in his plan is whenever the Taliban start talking and it's a language that he does
Yeah,
not
exactly.
know. Like
Yeah.
he tries to all that he can do is like talk in like a racist
I think he said
accent.
that he was going to use Google Translate to like translate it all.
Oh, here, I'll just pull out my phone and they fucking shoot him.
Yeah. But me and you should get camels and just go to like Egypt.
We should get camels and we should get camels, walk onto a college campus with also guns.
And just have a little fun. Well, that didn't sound right. I mean, I would like to just walk around campus on a camel.
Yeah, with a gun.
I wouldn't have a gun. I would have a balloon.
He would have
A balloon in the shape of a sword. And I'd start hitting people with it.
And every one of those people I would consider they'd be in my sights.
Yes.
After that, they're marked effectively.
The static electricity of the balloon will make their hair stand up. It's like, those are Zach's targets.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, zap! And I'll shoot them in the head.
You'll just like have two balloons and like create static electricity and kill them.
Zach, you didn't finish a story last time.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
We listened to the podcast last time, and I brought up about how my cybersecurity teacher and one of the black women in this class was basically like about to start screaming at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just completely went off track and started talking about something else. But continuing that story, what happened was the teacher was lecturing, obviously, and another student, which was just like a white man, sneezed. He was like, achoo, and like
Yeah.
sprayed snot everywhere, and
Snot,
like
blood, cum.
the person ahead of him like drowned and everything in the snot. It was disgusting. And then the teacher turned around and stopped his lecture and said, "Bless you."
Mm.
And so then,
Actually, God isn't real.
yeah, I know, but so next thing was there was a black woman in the class, and she sneezed.
Oh no.
And then the teacher didn't say anything. But it was kind of quiet. I will admit, it was kind of a quiet sneeze. She was trying to conceal it, but the teacher kept talking.
Mm-hmm.
And we were learning about something like encryption or something. It was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And so then finally, the same guy that like killed a kid with his snot, he sneezes again. And the teacher turns around and says, "Bless you," and everything. And then the girl gets mad and is like, "Oh, so that's how it is?" And then he's confused. And I think he was doing a little trolling, to be honest, towards the end of it.
We like to do a little trolling.
Yeah, exactly. But she was like, "So that's how this is? You're just going to respond to him sneezing?" And he's like, "You sneezed? I didn't hear you sneeze." And like
He had big Cheshire cat grin.
yeah, he had the troll
comes
face
across
smile.
His face.
He's like, "I didn't hear you sneeze." And like she started getting mad and everything. She's like, "Really? This is ridiculous." And then she's like, "Is it because I'm black?" And he's like, Okay, pause. And like he stopped class and he's like,
Okay, pause. He pulls out a remote. He pulls out the remote from Click.
Yeah.
Pause.
And
Okay,
then he
pause.
rewinds
He
it.
brings up a cat's paw.
Yeah. So anyways, he was like, "If you sneezed, I'm sorry. I didn't hear it. This has nothing to do with race."
It's because you're a woman.
Yeah, it's exactly. And like the whole class was just quiet, and like we were all like, "Oh no, is this?" Because usually it's like the liberal teacher, and then like the conservative kid, and like, well, actually,
if you look at the statistics, race and IQ,
they do correlate.
they do correlate.
And I have proof.
I have proof.
Check out this Breitbart article.
I have proof. One time I met a black man, and you know what? I think I'm smarter than he is. I think I'm smarter than every black man in this room.
I walked up to him, and behind his back I said, "Hey, what's 2 + 2?" And he turned around and said, "What?" And I said, "That's
Don't you know
not
what
the
numbers
answer.
are?"
It's 4." And that's how I know. And then I ran into a black man on the street with my car, and he died. Checkmate. liberals, and then that's
Checkmate.
it.
Checkmate. I went to checkmate. I shot 3 people. Checkmate.
I shot 3 people in the back of the head, and the only one that survived was me, and I'm white, so I'm smarter. And starts having a spaz attack in the back of the class.
Ooh, the book that I'm currently reading,
Yeah.
the Woke Fairy Story, it's got some interesting ideas about that. That's just a little titillating sort of hint at what's coming up
Oh, really?
in a future episode when we discuss the next book that I'm reading.
Very well. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's very good. It is much, very, very different from the
Oh, really?
The last book is. It is much more overtly political.
Yeah. I'm out of ideas.
Epstein.
Never mind.
Let's talk about Epstein for a second. What a handsome little guy.
Yeah. I always look at him and I'm like, he looks like he would do something like that.
Well, the thing is, that's what everybody says about everybody who ever.
Oh.
And it's
I guess
always
that's
true.
Yeah.
It's every single time it's true.
I guess it's
he
probably
does look like somebody who would do that.
I wonder if that's like your brain tricking you, like you learn information first,
Yeah,
and then you
that's
see the face,
probably-
and you're just confirmation.
Yeah, and if the same thing would go for like Bill Clinton or Donald Trump. Like, if you heard, like, oh, they
Yeah, they look. like
had
they
sex with some of the children on the island.
Yeah.
Which, whatever happened with them?
Did you watch the Netflix thing about it?
I didn't watch the Netflix thing.
It's pretty disgusting. Like, you kind of have to like get ready for like your stomach to turn.
Oh yeah.
My girlfriend, we tried to watch it together, and she had to stop watching it.
Yeah,
And-
it's pretty fucky.
yeah, and I'm like,
Fuck.
I don't think those girls could just make that up, you know, and just because I saw some
Mhm.
people like they're making it up. The
They're
women on the
fucking
show are
lying.
fake.
They're lying. They're not real. They're CG.
Jeffrey
CGI.
Epstein fucked me, not them.
That'd be so strange to specifically be defending Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I know.
I assume it would downplay like Bill Clinton a little bit, and as opposed to like inflating Donald Trump, because that's sort of what we saw. That's sort of what the media did a little bit.
Yeah. See, I watched it like last year, so I'm not.
yeah,
But
it's
it
not
did
bad.
mention Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, just a bit.
So they were
Really?
just like sort of aside.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
Oh,
I think
mention.
that the documentary is more focused on like the underage women and stuff.
Oh yeah, the children.
And what Epstein actually did, like the
Uh-huh.
actual firsthand accounts of it, rather than like the allegations of it,
Mhm.
because there really isn't any evidence.
Yeah, I guess like you can't really. Yeah.
Like, I mean, like there's evidence, but it's all speculation, you know.
Yeah, there's not. You can't really. Yeah, it's impossible. I mean, you really couldn't even necessarily. I don't even know to what degree you could even verify what they said about Epstein. But like
Mhm.
Epstein's dead, and it was just like it was getting to a point where they were gonna start doing stuff that would implicate other people.
Yeah, I think he was
Were they-
jailed.
Yeah, I think it was like more. Yeah, and there's like a bunch of evidence, which I don't fucking remember. Like some shit happened to that, right? Some shit happened to like a lot of the evidence or whatever.
Well, all I know is that at the end of the documentary, it brought up the fact that he died,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't. They didn't like try and make it like he's not actually dead, or someone
like-
killed him. It was just
yeah.
like, yeah, they said he killed himself, so he killed himself. They're not gonna dip their toe into that, but it was like, but still, it was from the aspect of like the victim. So they were
Mhm.
like, that's sickening. Like he was just about to get what he deserved, and then he just offed himself. What a coward! So.
Well, I mean, what he's going to do is implicate a bunch of people.
Mhm.
I mean, I just don't. I don't get why that's like so. Like the idea that like he either, like that somebody like was involved is like that crazy. I just
Mhm.
don't get why that is more outlandish or less believable than like him. You know, like the cameras just, oh, they just did it. I don't know. We just
Yeah.
forgot to press record, and the guards they were
sleepy.
I think, yeah,
They
they,
didn't
went
get
to
their
sleep.
coffee.
They were sleeping like a little puppy dog. That's
Yeah.
what. And it's like I don't understand. Like, what is it so unlikely that like people with a bunch of fucking like you could even just say like, oh, they just let him kill himself.
Yeah.
You could that would be probably the least sort of speculative thing. Like that would be like the almost like the best. I say best faith. That would be. I mean, it's like, but like that's possible, but like it doesn't really matter, right? Like they either let him kill himself, which is again for the exact same purposes, right? It would still be because there was evidence that would implicate other people, but like to me, it seems like almost like it just doesn't seem like that would be that hard for like a person, like people with like access to all these resources to kill somebody, to have a person killed. It doesn't seem, and it doesn't matter who, like it's whenever, because if for like these right-wing fucking like QAnon people, it matters who, because to them, like fundamentally the structures that led to shit like this happening, those are good.
Yeah.
I mean, even to them, it's funny because like the like QAnon stuff, they don't just rape kids. They specifically they're extracting adrenochrome. It's like just child rape by itself isn't enough. They have to add like that they're torturing them to suck special juices out of them, which it's so funny that they have to do that. Yeah. But yeah, like for right-wing people, it matters what the specifics of it are. But like really, the only thing that matters is like that is a thing that could happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, somebody, which he got in trouble for like shit relating to it, like in the 90s, I think. Like he got in trouble for it in the past, and he was like it? Epstein.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were like, "Why don't you how about we're gonna check in on you. We're gonna give you a call every 2 weeks."
Yeah, that's what it was in the documentary. Was like with the Florida, because he lived in Florida. Yeah, and like he lived where like he lived in like the upper areas, and if you went across a bridge, you would be in like kind of like the poor part of like the area. So he would recruit like one girl. He would have like go to this high school and be like, "Hey girls, you want to make some money? All you have to do is come over and give this guy a massage, and he'll give you like $100. And like these girls are like broke and they want money. It's like, it's not that big of a deal. So like they would all go together, and then whenever they would get there, they would start like massaging him or something, and then he'd be like, "I'll give you $100 more if you tickle my penis," or something like that, And then that's how it started. And then at the end of it all, he'd be like, "If you can get more people to come in here and spread the word, then I will give you money. And then I'll give you more money than that I give for them to do it." So he created like this whole thing in this community.
It's like a pyramid scheme.
Exactly.
With, like people jacking off one guy.
Yeah.
Or probably not one guy, probably several guys.
Yeah. And then basically what it was they had enough evidence to convict him of doing that, like they had like tons of confessions. And then I don't think it was the county or it was the state, but like the state board of Florida was like, "Drop the case. Just drop it." And then because they interviewed cops that were like, "We had him. Like all we had to do was go up and arrest him and he would have been done." But the state said, "Drop the case, so we can't do anything." And then there was another time where he was like, "I have an egg-shaped penis." That might have been the same thing. I don't know, but that documentary, if you have time, watch it, because it lets you know exactly what he did. But what it doesn't talk about the most of is Epstein Island.
Yeah.
Little St. James.
Also, like, I said that it was just right wingers who do that, but like also like more moderate like liberals do the same thing. Like where it's like they talk a lot about Donald Trump, but they don't talk about Bill Clinton. Yeah. So the problem isn't anything to do with like people having like obscene amounts of power. The problem is that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein had a bunch. But Bill Clinton, on the other hand,
maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
That's just once. It's like, that doesn't help at all.
Yeah. It's just absurd.
I don't know. I feel like in my perfect world, in Zach's perfect world, there should be not 2 parties and there should be multiple.
In my perfect world, there would be no government, of course. But yeah, it's wild. And then obviously, like, it's just not brought up anymore, ever.
Yeah, because it's out of the, like, I don't know what it's called. Whenever everyone looks at it, the public eye, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't know, you like look at other things and it's like something like that. It's like it should be something that people talk about like all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody just sort of stopped. And like that's probably part of the reason why, you know, things like QAnon are so successful.
Yeah, because they
Right.
just keep talking about it.
Yeah, well, and like, you know, hey, it's pretty fucked up whenever people are raping children on like a private island, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, doesn't seem like fucking like liberals care about it. It doesn't seem really like even like the conservative like establishment media doesn't give a shit. So the only place where you can find where people actually like talk like they give a shit are these fucking like Nazi and
Yeah,
like, these fucking fascist
Just
dipshits
sitting out there.
online
Yeah.
that are like, the Jews want to extract adrenochrome from the children to make their noses smaller or some shit like that.
Yeah. And it's just kind of stupid. It always kind of upsets me whenever like something new comes up because I automatically know like, well, we'll never get back to the other problems behind us.
Yeah. It's all just, I mean, that's how it all works. That's how like Twitter works too.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody gets pissed off at some shit, and like half the time, it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
It's like something that like off the top of my head, like I'm thinking about like there was a period of time a few months back where they were talking about like, should people be able to wear kinky things at pride parades? And like it's just, this doesn't matter. Like this will have literally no effect on whether or not people wear like
Kinky shit at
fetish
pride
gear
parades,
at
yeah.
pride parades. Like who, for one, who gives a shit? Like it just does. The internet, like kids are on the internet watching hardcore. Like they've seen, if your kid is older than 10, they've seen porn before.
Yeah.
But like it, I mean, it just doesn't matter. But like also like the Discord, like what even is it about?
Mhm.
Like what even does that possibly going to accomplish?
And it'll get to such a point, because what makes me mad is like you'll have a conversation like that and like it'll just get to such a big fight, and then all of a sudden you'll see the trending town be like, oh my god, new Minecraft update. And then it's just completely reset. No one else is talking about it.
Yeah, everything just like resets every, like it is like literally what it is like this place where people can like channel a bunch of like people get upset about things, and Twitter sort of acts as this thing that can like channel that into just nothing, into just doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's
You know,
pretty.
people on Twitter, like that's not, I don't know, it's mind-boggling. Like it's very effective. It is. As this is gonna sound this is gonna be a hashtag cringe moment, but it is sort of like the 2 minutes hate thing from 1984. You know that?
Yeah.
Where they have like 2 minutes, you just get to be mad at something, and then you know you sort of feel a little bit bad. You know, you just don't feel as angry. You've got all that energy out, and so you just don't give as much of a shit.
But what sucks for me too is I'm always like, I would like to get like go into a library or like go to a government building and kind of like take the files, because like it's all
Set a
public.
backpack down, leave the building. I don't know, maybe wait some amount of time, maybe detonate something that was inside of the backpack, maybe blow up a government building,
Perhaps,
maybe
but
release a manifesto.
but I feel like, because you know that is public information, and it's like people don't want to go to the government buildings and find the stuff. They want someone to do it and then put it into an article that correctly supports their views.
Find government building, like for what specifically?
Well,
Like Epstein stuff?
Well, yeah, or like, I've always wondered, like, you know, the government's always passing like bills and laws, and it's like, what I want to do is find, and you know, I'm sure they post it online too, but like, what is the bill saying? Like, what is the complete details, so that way people can't bend the rule, like bend what it's saying, you know.
Well, the thing is that like those things, people will always, like, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the politicians will always bend them, and usually they're written with that specific intention in mind, and they're also written in such a way that they're like so convoluted that it's very difficult for like a person to understand. And that is probably to an extent by design, but like it doesn't really matter. Like the law doesn't necessarily like apply. It applies very messily. It's like, but they can just fuck with shit all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
If they want, because ultimately, I mean, they're the people who control all of that. So they don't. I mean, the rules apply very selectively.
Yeah.
And like individual cases for the sake of like it's sort of just a symbolic gesture almost. It's like, yeah, we abide by these rules whenever, like, obviously they don't have to.
Yeah.
And they won't whenever it's not necessary.
Exactly. I think I will become the next politician. And they'll be like, how do you plan to do all of your campaign promises? I'll figure it out.
Don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
If you know, let me know.
What will you do as president of the United States? I'm not sure.
I'll sit in the chair.
You know what? I'll get back. I'll think about that.
Next question.
Mr. Trump, what are you going to do as president of the United States? I don't. Look, I don't know what people are saying, but I'm not sure. A horrible impression. It's hard to do a good Trump impression.
It is. Texas said no more abortions.
Yeah.
If we catch you having an abortion, we will pay someone to find you.
Yeah, the states are all sort of swinging gradually in that. Like, all the red states are gradually undoing. Yeah. And eventually it's going to make it to the Supreme Court, and they're, as of right now, like, it's likely, like, the plan for them is, of course, there's a bunch of young conservative people in the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. Like, now I would say, like, who are I assume that the liberals in the Supreme Court are, like, pretty old, all of them. Are there any younger ones? Yeah. And so, of course, what they're doing, because it's a fucking lifelong position, because it's just not a fucking democracy. Mm-hmm. Because it's like a lifelong position, you just put a bunch of young conservatives in there, and your interests are basically secured for, like, the next fucking 50 years, like the next 30 years, like, at least. Mm-hmm. Like, Kavanaugh's probably, like, in his 40s or something. Like, they're both in, like, their 40s. Yeah. Like, the newest couple of people, late 40s maybe.
But you yourself are conservative, and you think what the Republicans did to get the two court justices in, mm-hmm. by, like, stopping the vote until Trump was elected, and then not letting the Democrats vote for their people, not letting
the Democrats just let them do that too.
Yeah, but if you think that's okay, then you're scum, and I don't want you here.
I mean, it's by design. Like, the Democrats didn't.
I don't know why the Democrats because
it's like they don't really want that. Like, they don't really want. Like, I don't think, because, like, the funny thing to say is that they're just fucking stupid. Yeah. But, like, they're smart. Like, they're like absurd. Like, it's probably 50-50. Mm-hmm. Like, some of it's just them being dumb, but most of it is just that's within their interest to a large extent for a lot of, like, Democrats. Like, because what the main thing probably that a more conservative Supreme Court would do is probably, like, they could probably do some, like, fucky shit with, like, money and tax shit. Yeah. If they, I don't know to what degree they have, like, influence over that stuff. But, I mean, they do have some influence over policy. Yeah. And, more conservative Supreme Court is probably more likely to be more just letting fucky shit happen with, like, money stuff, which is really in the interest of, like, everybody, right? Like, you're not going to get them to, like, stop companies from, like, mm-hmm. Influencing, like, election stuff if it's a fucking conservative. Like, they'll stop that. Like, if you try to pass legislation to, like, stop voter suppression or something like that, like, the Supreme Court could be like, well, no, it's, the state has the right to do that, mm-hmm. or whatever. Or, like, if you try to stop, certain, like, if a state tries to, limit the ways that, like, companies can influence things, like, the Supreme Court could just be like, no. And this would, obviously, for, like, moderate Democrats is good because they don't want, like, progressives to get into office. Yeah. And so, like, things like that get to the Supreme Court. But I don't really know necessarily that much about what they're trying to do. But definitely they just didn't try. Like, it's not something where they're just stupid. Yeah. Like, you can't be that stupid and be in Congress.
Yeah, exactly. I hate to say it, Wilson, but I think I might have to be heading back home soon.
I mean, we could probably wrap it up, like, now.